Hey guys, this profile pop-up is for Sagar. I like the background picture, although there is a software technique that you can use that'll take out what's in the background. And actually, believe it or not, this is one of those things that I say is don't wear sunglasses. Be looking straight at us, smiling. It's not so much about you and where you've traveled. It's about us seeing your face and getting to know you, okay? And smiling and being personable. That's maybe something you would want to change about the picture, and it is pretty darn important. Now notice on the desktop, the browser, we are able to see that background just fine. And I notice, maybe you try to leave a little space there in the bottom left, but if you see on the Android anyway, this is what happens. It kind of gets cut off. So it's a good use of the background, but what about Illinois Institute of Technology is what it makes me think right now, okay? And then the other big thing to notice, right away, it's a really, really critical thing. Again, guys, we're looking at the top 3 things about a LinkedIn profile right here, because why? When a recruiter searches, when anybody searches, this is what goes with you. That picture, see how small it is? We can barely make it out. Your name, nice and short actually in this case. Look at how many words we're getting. That's actually one of the most number of words I've seen in a long time. But what it looks like to me is whenever I see a term that is like a role, like data analyst, and then at, it's telling me what's coming. It's coming as a default profile. Well, in this case, it's not the default profile. You've changed it up a little bit, but is it at Chicago Transit, CTA, or is it at Illinois Tech? It's a little confusing as to what's going on there. So then I've got to come down here and I got to try to figure it out. So you've got the internship in May that started, and then here you've got something at a desk assistant that also started in August. So I think you're doing both things and also production assistant, and that's fine. You might very well be doing that. I want to say this right now. I'm not a huge fan of taking a resume and attaching it to the profile. That's something that I've been talking about a little bit more recently. Just because, someone clicks on here and they open it up and they take a look at it and, there's something about it they don't like. It rules you out. I would rather bring them in, get the content from there, and put that in to the sections that you have available in LinkedIn. And what I'm looking for, the 70%, 65%, those things pop. I want to see those results to the point where I'm seeing them in the first couple lines. Like you see here, your current position, we get about 4 lines. Let me back out a second. When I go to tap and open this up on a phone, notice I get about 8 lines, 8 short lines on a phone. Then the other older positions, I'm getting about 4 lines. So it's critical that whatever is showing is going to grab my attention. So it's great that you're analyzing, it's great that you're generating, and it's great that you're playing. But what does that mean for me? I want to know what it is you're learning, what it is you're doing that's going to turn around and do something for me, and then I'll be interested in hiring you. That's how we've got to flip this around. So back again here, I don't see any of those numbers that are drawing me in. I had to open that up to get to the 70%. Lead with the numbers. Say that you reduced manual effort 70% by playing a role. If you move that around up here, it's going to show right away. And that's going to get someone to click on this and realize, wow, look at all these things that you're doing as an intern. You're doing a lot of things. And that's going to look great for you for getting more internships, if that's what you're after, or the next actual full-time job. So same kind of thing here. Great use of bullets. I'm glad you're using them. But what about these bullets, right? There we go. I like this. 60%, 40%. Notice, as a recruiter who's trained at this, I'm not even spending time looking at the rest of it. I'm just jumping at it and seeing, does this person have results? That's kind of where my mind is right now. So anyway, I'm going longer than I wanted to, as I always do, but you had some good grades here in your education. That's one of the other critical things they're looking at. Recruiters are looking for your current position, your most recent position before that, your name, and your education. Notice all those things are showing up here pretty much, with the exception of, your last position. Typically in your headline, it's up to you to shape what you're doing, but you've got a couple things going on here as present things, and that's great. But just keep that in mind. That's what they're looking for. One of the biggest tips that I can also tell you, Sagar, keep getting more of your skills. It's great you've got all 50. You've maxed out the skills. Keep getting more endorsements. Okay, endorse other people that you knew maybe in your courses. That's great. But the biggest thing I'm telling you now too, get rid of the competition. If you want to know how, hit me up in the comments. Hope that helped. Let me know, guys.